Hey folks, welcome to InTheMoneyStocks.com's live trading action video. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here. Today's date is Thursday, October 6th, 2016. Markets are focusing here on slightly negative action, although we are bouncing off of the lows. Take a look at the intraday SPY. Let me zoom in here. This is today's price action. You can see we opened slightly lower, had a little bit of a sell-off, then went sideways. This is called a bear flag pattern, or in spirit of bear flag pattern, because again, it's a downward move with a sideways consolidation pattern that usually leads to further downside. We saw the market selling off of that right to gap fill. Notice the gap from Tuesday. So Tuesday into Wednesday, we had a close here on Tuesday, a gap up on Wednesday. That means when you fill this gap here, that's called gap fill. It's also known as a major support level. We talked about this with the intraday stock chat today as being a low of the day. Markets immediately bounced off of it as I predicted and are now shooting up towards the flat line. I think the markets are going to be around the flat line today. Why? Because we're waiting on the non-farm payrolls report tomorrow. I don't really think anyone's looking to take a directional move here, one way or the other. I think the markets, again, are just saying to themselves, let's wait to see what this jobs number hits at. Yesterday, we got private sector numbers, had 154,000, so that guides us in that general vicinity for the jobs number. My guess is the jobs number will be around 175. So again, that's my prediction, 175, give or take. Anything above 225 would be bearish for the markets because it would push the interest rates higher, which would cause a sell-off in the stock market. Anything around the 150,000 level would probably be bullish for the markets. So again, I would say anything from 125 to 175 would be a Goldilocks number. 175 to 225 would be maybe a small negative, and then above 225 would be a positive, negative for the market, a full-out negative. Okay? Beautiful pop. Look at the markets. We just went green there. Beautiful buy program just hit. The volume is so light today. Take a look, 24 million. And again, as I said, it's a very likely scenario that this market's going to be right around the flat line today, ending, give or take right around that point. Okay, just looking at interest rates, which we can do from TBT today, notice a little bit of a sell-off. See how that pop? This is very important. This is the last thing I'll say. Notice how the TBT had a big sell candle here, and the spiders had a big green candle here. All right, markets work inversely to interest rates. Now, the TBT is the short to 20-year bond. Because bonds go inverse to interest rates, therefore, the short fund would obviously go inverse to the market there, and again, that's what we're seeing there. So as TBT declines, it tells you interest rates just fell, markets popped up, okay? And again, notice how the markets initially were choppy sideways. That's when the markets were at the lows. Then the TBT, the interest rates started to fade, markets got off their lows, and then you just got that surge up on the markets as the TBT fell right there. So really important to see that, guys. Really important to understand the inverse relationship between interest rates and the market. And really, if you think about it, just to summarize why there's that inverse relationship, it's very simple. The Federal Reserve has artificially pushed interest rates lower. We know that from all the QE and the low interest rate policy that they've had, their dovish commentary, and it has caused the markets to go up. So it makes sense that if interest rates were to reverse course, the markets would come down. And that's exactly why you have this inverse relationship. Okay, so again, interesting stuff there. We took a profit this morning. This was a great trade, folks, just going back to TBT. We entered TBT on the daily chart at 31.12. All right, look at where it's currently trading, just under 33. The reason we did it, notice the pivot high here. You broke out and you retraced to that trend line we bought right here. We sold this morning on the pop-up. Great sell, almost a 7% profit in about a week on the TBT. We're out of it. We're on to the next trade. Another profit for Research Center members here. My partner took a 120% profit on CRM calls today in the options alerts. The profits are flowing, folks. The profits are flowing. Come join us here at InTheMoneyStocks.com.